Well, hey y'all, and welcome to North Carolina. We are in Gates County at Merchants Millpond State Park. Today I just decided to get out. I haven't been feeling well this week. February for me has ended on a very pathetic note. I was sick for a couple days, had to call off work, and then when I was finally feeling fine, my freaking car died on me. So between Uncle Sam, Virginia Slim, and Ford Motor Company, I have spent quite a sum of money to the government and getting my car fixed. And so I've just been feeling really down, and I'm trying to get back together heading into March here. But like life, it throws punches at you, knocks you down sometimes, and you just got to get back up and stay in the fight. But I'm out here. I saw an event get posted on Facebook from the Friends of Merchants Millpond State Park for a group hike. And so I'm going to be meeting them at 10 o'clock. Let me check the time. When I got here it was 9:30. Oh, this is about a quarter till. So I'm going to take some pictures and head up. We'll be hiking the Coleman Trail this morning. So maybe I should take some pictures when I'm done with the group hike. So let me head back on up. I was going to go fishing today, but it's kind of cold. It's about 40 degrees out right now, and I don't think it's supposed to get much warmer than that. So I made it to the hike. I got about 5 minutes until the hike starts, and I'm out here just taking a little bit of photos before we get started. Now, the thing about Merchants Millpond is that there are alligators here. So we are bordering between Virginia and North Carolina. We're not that far from the Virginia border. I would say probably maybe like 15-20 minutes. And we're reaching the northern edge of where you can find alligators. So I was looking on the visitor center board, and they saw an alligator back in mid-January. So that's the thing about this park, and reason why I'm afraid to come up here by myself, because now you're adding in alligators to the mix, and I'm terrified of wildlife to begin with. Things with teeth are even scarier. But I'm getting ready to take a few more pictures and then link up with the group. All right, y'all, so I just finished up the 2-mile hike with Ranger Emily down here at Merchants Millpond State Park in North Carolina, and we're going to explore this park a little bit more. I've only been down here once, and that was with Officer Thick in late 2018. It was like a 70-degree day that day, but not today. It's a bit cooler, it's a little windier, and but the sun is shining. That's good. So I don't know much about this park outside of what Ranger Emily had discussed on our hike there. And it's pretty interesting. Between the Nature Conservancy and a gentleman, his name was Coleman. I think she said it was A.P. Coleman, who has passed away now, but apparently he donated a good bit of land that was here. He donated to the state. The Nature Conservancy purchased another portion of it as well, and it has come together to create this beautiful state park. Okay, so last time Officer Thick and I, when we were up here, we did the Bennett's Creek trail, and it was about 2 miles. Apparently, there is a 6-mile trail here, and maybe one day I'll have the motivation to do a 6-mile hike, but today is not that day. I'll come out here, take a few more pictures, and then I'm going to do the Cypress Point Trail. That's only a third of a mile. Like I said, we just did about 2 miles on the Coleman Trail there. So, you know, I don't want to do too much. I'm trying to work my way back into hiking for the year because I kind of just took a break. My knee hurts, especially after doing all of these classes at the Y. I'm thinking I'm going to switch to aerobics, water aerobics. Maybe that will be less impact on my knees. Yeah, this is a very enjoyable state park. You know, it's just trees and plants and wildlife and, you know, water. But, you know, you go up to the visitor center, you know, there's camping, there's the canoes you can rent out, you can fish here. All the standard state park activities. I enjoy it. If you're ever down in North Carolina, northern coastal North Carolina, I'd recommend coming down here. It's a nice quiet park. It's just very beautiful. It's really shallow right here. You can see the bottom. You know, it's brown because all the tannins from the pines and cypress here, but you can still see the bottom, so it's still pretty clear. See, I needed this little getaway, and I've kind of come to terms. See, okay, just to pause here. Maybe this is Greenbrier. Let me follow this. What is that? Let me put it in my iNaturalist app. I noticed it on the Coleman Trail. Specifically on these beech trees, you can see this vine is cutting in to this plant, and that's not good for the plant, because the thing about plants, you know, on the very outside of plants is some vascular tissues called xylem and phloem. Wants to transport sugars, the phloem, and the xylem transports water. And so the phloem is on the very outside of the cambium layer. If you chop off this bark here, you'll see the cambium layer, that wood. And if you cut, and it's only like a few centimeters, you'll hit that phloem layer. And, you know, essentially that's sap. You know, you eat it as maple syrup. But yeah, the sap is right there, and that is the lifeline of the tree. So for this to cut into it like this, that's very disturbing. But let's see if we can get this identified. Oh, okay. So it's, this was identified as Japanese honeysuckle. But yeah, that's devastating. The way it just cuts into the skin like that, or the bark, I should say. But yeah, let's continue on our little short hike here. All kind of interesting things in nature if you are observant. It happens to be, oh, and there's some mistletoe. There's some more mistletoe right there. I don't know if you can see that plant straight through, like very in the center of these oaks here. There's some mistletoe. Let's see if we can get down there and look at it. This doesn't look too bad. You know, I'm just afraid of yeah, now that thought popped into my head, I'm very much afraid of copperhead. So we are going to venture in there. But believe me when I say there is mistletoe right there. It's a very cool plant. It's a parasitic plant. And essentially it taps into the vascular tissues, that xylem and phloem that I was talking about earlier. And it draws out the nutrients from the plant. It doesn't kill it because, you know, it needs that plant in order to survive. So it takes what it needs, and that's it, and just kind of survives in a parasitic relationship with the plant. Yeah, a couple I passed, you know, they had a camera on too and said they only saw 2 turtles. And that's fine with me. I'm really not into the taking the pictures of the wildlife. You know, the more I take pictures with my huge camera, the more I realize that I am I enjoy taking close-up pictures of nature. And so with wildlife, you kind of don't want to get too close up to wildlife because one, they run, two, they might attack. And I'm not about being attacked by wildlife. But plants, they stand still. Mushrooms, they stand still. They don't go anywhere. They don't harm you. And in most instances, as long as you don't eat them without knowing what you're eating, because they'll get you that way from ingestion. They'll make you sick. Some can even kill you in a high enough dose. Something like these holly trees here. If you brush along them, they will scratch you. Greenbrier is another one that'll scratch you, cut you up real good if you walk through it. They'll hurt you in those ways, but to take a nice close-up picture, that's what I'm finding that I enjoy. But yeah, this is Merchants Millpond State Park here in Gates County, North Carolina. I hope to come back out here later on this year. It is a fabulous state park, and I highly encourage you to come on down here, especially if you want to go canoeing, because you get to canoe this whole pond system here. It's great. But I'm getting ready to head back to my car. I'm getting kind of hungry. Need to go back home and grab some lunch. I'll catch up with you in the next adventure. Peace.